Hi guys, and welcome back to another lesson in geometry. In today's lesson we're going to look at naming 3D shapes and also how to draw 3D shapes. So the first thing we look for is, does it have a place where all of the sides come up to meet, so a point, or does it have no point? So we can see here, get my arrow here, that we have a point. But this one, all the sides don't come up to meet one point. Yes, they come up to meet an edge, but it's not a point. So we call this one a pyramid, like the Egyptian pyramids, and this one a prism, because it's a shape that is repeated. So with a prism, I could cut down the middle of the shape along here and would end up with two prisms that were identical, because it's the base shape, so this end shape, repeated over and over and over and over and over again. So let's look, is it a pyramid or is it a prism? So pause this, I want you to see if you can answer that and then come back. So hopefully you said that A, B and C are all prisms because they're a shape that is stretched and repeated. And D, E and F are all pyramids because they all come up to a single point. So a polyhedron. So a 3D shape that consists of only polygons is called a polyhedron. This shape here is a polyhedron. It's the same shape, a polygon, repeated, repeated, repeated. Can you think of any other shapes? You might have said something like a soccer ball. A soccer ball is a polyhedron, typically the skin of it, because it's made up of the same shape repeated. So let's look at naming pyramids. So for naming pyramids, well, the first thing we need to do is say, well, what is the base? And the base here is a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five-sided shape is a pentagon. Is it a prism or a pyramid? Well, it is a pyramid because it goes to a point. So we call it a pentagonal pyramid. Naming prisms, we look at the base. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's an 8-sided polygon, so we call that an octagon. So the base is an octagon. It's a prism because it's not going to a point, so we call it a prism. So therefore it's called an octagonal prism. Let's look at drawing 3D shapes. The first thing you do when you draw a 3D shape is you draw the base shape or the end shape. So I'm going to draw my end shape here, which is a square. The next thing I'm going to do is draw that same shape but with dotted lines and a little bit out of, like, in a different position. So like so. So I've done dotted lines all around. Then what I do is I connect all of the corners or the apexes of the 2D shape with dotted lines, 1, 2, 3 and 4, like so. So you can see we're forming a 3D shape here. And our final step is draw a solid line over all the edges that would be visible if I was just looking at this. So this one here would be visible, this edge here would be visible, and this edge here would be visible. This upper edge would be visible, and this edge would be visible as well. So we can see that we've got solid lines that represent the lines that we could see. And here we have three lines that are dotted, which represents lines that are essentially invisible. We cannot see them. Now you're going to do a task later where you have to draw a building using 3D shapes. So the first thing you would do is draw the shape like this, and then you would remove these dotted lines so that you can't see them. That's how you draw a 3D building. Hopefully that all makes sense, but remember, if you have any questions, please make sure you ask. Otherwise, we'll see you again in the next lesson. Thanks, guys.